been excellent guides and coaches for our students along the way. So thank you very much, Justin, Ian, and Josh. Also, shout out to the rest of our team at Awesome Inc. Who've helped make this possible. If you heard about the event today, it was probably thanks to Stephen Rue, our marketing specialist, or Mackenzie Haynes, our career coach, who works with our students and employer partners. When you get a chance to see our web pages here, we focus on development, not on design. But the fact that our design isn't totally bad is thanks to Jacqueline's help in teaching us some of those basics of design over throughout the boot camp. So I want to hand it off next to Justin Hall, our lead instructor, who's going to talk a little more about the technical things that our students have been through in boot camp. Justin?
Thanks, Nick. It is an honor and a privilege to be a part of our boot campers' individual journeys as they go from 0 to 60, learning how to learn and becoming creative developers. The boot camp runs for 16 weeks. During the 16 weeks, our boot campers participate in experiential learning environment where they learn a full stack of software development tools and languages. The boot camp is broken down into 4 sections. During pre-work, while working remote and part-time, our boot campers start with the fundamentals of Git, GitHub, Agile development, and HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Pre-work provides structure, content, and access to our coaches during the duration of the boot camp. Our boot campers learn how to fail often and fail fast in a safe environment. After pre-work, our boot campers move on site and begin a hyper-focused effort learning the visual section of our full stack offering. We cover basic programming concepts and industry standards with JavaScript, Bootstrap, and React. Our boot campers achieve objectives and project goals by demonstrating their ability to learn and deliver. Moving from front end to back end in our tech stack, our boot campers learn their second language and cover advanced concepts like databases, APIs, and server-side technologies. During this time, our boot campers complete objectives and projects working with PHP, MySQL, and Laravel. In the final 4 weeks is designated as the finish line focus. Our boot campers learn more advanced concepts in React and Laravel, as well as Agile development and Agile project management. They start on their capstone project, which is what you're going to see today, with the goal of presenting their project, portfolio, and body of work developed over the past 16 weeks in order to obtain a job. Final projects developed by our boot campers consist of calculators, clones of existing popular platforms and websites, as well as tools, apps, and games. Some projects take advantage of our boot campers' unique domain expertise from their previous careers and experiences. Over 17 projects are completed throughout the boot camp. Most of those consist of small objectives that demonstrate a level of understanding of each element within our tech stack. At each step, our boot campers gain new skills and advanced concepts that elevate their ability to learn and iterate as developers. The boot camp is transformative in many other ways, much to mention here. But be sure to ask these newly forged developers what their experience was like and how they benefited from being challenged. Some might say that discomfort is a desired state and necessary for learning how to learn. We are really excited today to see the fruits of their labor from the past 16 weeks. Hey, Nick, how about those presentations?
Thanks, Justin. So now for the fun part. So our boot campers will each be stepping in to share a 2-minute quick pitch about their presentation. They're not going to give you the whole thing. You'll have to go check out their breakout rooms to learn a little bit more. A little, as Justin mentioned about these projects. So the projects you'll see today are less than a 2-week sprint in. So if you've worked in software development, you know, that's not a lot of time, but they've gotten an incredible amount done in that short amount of time. You'll have a chance to ask some questions when we go into breakout rooms. So we're going to go pretty quick from student to student here. And we're really grateful that you're all here to support these students, whether you're here as an employer representative, a member of the tech community, or a family member or friend. It's just really great to see you here supporting these students as they present. Here's a quick look at today's 12 presenters and the names of their projects. And without any further ado, I'd like to welcome Kennedy, our first presenter.
Hi guys, I'm Kennedy Kinnear, and I first wanted to thank you all for taking the time to see the product of 4 months of hard work. A little bit about me. I'm from Lexington, and I'm a recent graduate of the University of Kentucky with a degree in business management and a minor in economics. This led me to take a job in financial services upon graduation, but this year I was just ready for a new challenge. I wanted a career where I would never stop learning, and I wanted to flex a creative muscle that I'd forgotten that I had. So that made web development the perfect challenge for me. I built an application called Good Listens, and my inspiration came from an app that I use often. It's called Goodreads. And for those of you who aren't familiar, it's for book lovers who can track their reading activity and keep track of things they want to read in the future. So I built an app with similar functionality for podcasts. There's nothing worse than finally having an hour to listen to a podcast and forgetting the recommendation. So that's why I built Good Listens. To implement this idea, I built an API with podcast information, and I used a Laravel backend and a React front end. I learned a lot. For starters, I realized that I loved the user interface side. The design was fascinating to me. And in this short 2-week sprint, I built a way to keep track of the podcasts that you have listened to, as well as to keep a list of what you want to listen to in the future. In future iterations, I'll add the ability to see other people's lists, as well as to leave a comment on a podcast that you have listened to. Again, my name is Kennedy Kinnear, and my app is called Good Listens. Please feel free to reach out to me at any of the links on the screen, but I would also love to meet you and chat with you in the breakout rooms. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us. My name is Carson. Before boot camp, I worked in various positions in the restaurant industry and a long time towards becoming a professional pilot. I have a lifelong background in agriculture as well. I chose Awesome Inc.'s boot camp because it is hands-on, fast-paced approach to becoming proficient in software development and learning how to learn. I chose software development because I see it as a modern-day craftsman. Your brain and hands must work cohesively with technology to create interesting projects from the ground up. So my project is Liker. The inspiration behind this project came from social media, major social media websites, but on a smaller scale. Some users would be smaller groups that want their own custom software and not wanting to use a major social media site. So a couple features I had for this project were pop-out modals. That way, so it didn't distract the user from what else was on the site, and then you just inputted the selected information. And a couple of things technologies I did was so that you could store posts. And in doing that, I learned troubleshooting and how to learn foreign concepts and implement them quickly. In the next revision, I plan to add the ability to make comments on posts and then be able to post pictures and other styles of media. And again, that was my project Liker. I'm Austin Carson, and I'd be happier than a gopher in loose dirt if you join me in my breakout room.
Hello, thank you all for coming. My name is James Anthony Davies. Please call me Anthony. Now, before coming to Awesome Inc., I was a waiter. I was a waiter at Dudley's on Short and American. Please support your local restaurants. And I would just graduated college with a degree in computer networking. Now, the reason I came to Awesome Inc., I wanted to do everything that I knew I could do. I wanted to be all that I knew that I could be. I wanted to fulfill my potential. Most importantly, I wanted to find my higher calling. Higher Calling is a full production website. You're just gonna log in, register, and they can see postings on a job board. Slide, please. They see postings on a job board, make their own postings, as well as see postings saved to their own dashboard. With Higher Calling, it's going to help make the job search process much easier. It's going to help you organize, allow you to search, track, and find your next job. With Higher Calling, you'll be able to see the forest for the trees. Thank you all very much. My contact info is on the screen. I'm looking forward to seeing you all in my breakout room. Thank you again.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Reese Hudson, and I've got a degree in mechanical engineering. And for the past 5 years, I've worked in quality, manufacturing, and design engineering roles. I joined the boot camp because I want to be a hands-on problem solver that uses modern technology to help people move forward towards their goals. My project name is Club Hub FC, and it's a youth sports league management app. So let's take a look at it. The inspiration for my project is that I'm also a USSF certified soccer referee, and I've also coached on multiple youth soccer and basketball teams. The main users for my app are parents and league staff members. So for parents, this will be a tool used to register their children into a league and also be a quick reference so that they can see when their child's game schedules are. For admins, it's a tool to be able to manage all the data that's involved in your league. It's players, teams, matches, and users. So let's take a look at a parent account first. After logging in, the first thing you do is register a player. Once they've been registered, they show up on your team dashboard, your home dashboard, and you can expand the card and see your child's game schedule all in one place. Next, let's take a look at a staff member's account. For a staff member, they'll be able to view all of the data for the league in this one page. You can see players, teams, matches, and users. And then within each table, you'll be able to see the staff member will be able to make edits or delete any entry to correct mistakes made during registration or to cancel games due to weather, etc. Next features I'd like to add to this app are search fields on the admin page so that you'd be able to, instead of having to scan manually through the table, you'd be able to find what you're looking for easier. Second, I'd like to be able to export a player's schedule to a calendar app of your choice as a parent. Again, thank you for joining me today. My name is Reese Hudson, and this has been Club Hub FC. Here's my email, and you can find me at these links. I'd be very grateful to answer any questions in my breakout room after this. Thank you.
Hello, Zoom. Thanks everybody for coming out today. My name is Rachel Jackson. Before boot camp, I did a whole bunch of things. I have a music education background. Most recently, I worked in a library. About a year and a half ago, I decided I was really interested in software development. So I started on a sort of self-guided learning online thing. And then I decided I needed a little bit more structure and support. So the boot camp was a good option for me. My project I chose is called Knit Keeper. If you're a knitter, you may want an app to keep and store all your project information so that if you start working on a project, you can have that information. Say if you start a whole bunch more projects, which happens a lot to knitters, you can come back and say, what was the needle size I was using for this? And you'll have that information stored in a database that you can pull up on your account. So when you log in, you see the screen with all your projects. You have a drop down to see all the project data. And then when you click into a project, if we go to the next slide, each project has multiple sub-projects underneath. And when you click through to those, you get a stitch count so that you can remember exactly which row you're on. You can save notes for that individual section. So if there's any relevant information there, you'll remember what it was. And it's a project that I've had in my brain for a while, and I'm glad that I was able to use the skills that I gained in this camp to make it a reality. I think I may have actually had this idea in the beginning in my screening interview for the boot camp. So I'm glad I was able to make it happen. So again, my name is Rachel Jackson. This was KnitKeeper. All my contact information is on the screen here. And if you'd like to see KnitKeeper in action, you can come visit me in my breakout room. Thanks.
Thanks, Rachel, and thanks everybody for joining us today. My name is Ryan Kelly. I graduated from the University of Kentucky with a Bachelor's of Science in Kinesiology. This led me to 3 wonderful years being a teacher and a coach. Although I love teaching, I felt it was time for a change, something more challenging, more fulfilling for me. And Awesome Inc. really answered that call. And 4 months later, I'm standing in front of y'all today, thrilled to present to you Memoir, a web application for creating, sharing, and storing memes. The inspiration for this project came from my love for humor and creativity. If you ask anybody around the boot camp, they'll probably tell you that I'm the biggest goofball. They're probably right. But I wanted to create a tool that equips others to express their humor and creativity through memes. As a Memoir user, you're able to do a lot of stuff. Once registered, you can choose from an array of memes and very easily input the text you would like to go on that meme. You also have your own personal page where you can view and share all of your memes that you've created. Again, guys, I'm really thrilled to be here and hope to get to talk to all of y'all. If you can't make it into one of my breakout rooms, you can find me at the contact information on there. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Skyler Kuretza. Before Bootcamp, I was an IT desktop support specialist and was getting my computer science degree at the University of Kentucky. I decided to put that on hold because it wasn't really what I wanted. I wanted to become a developer ever since I was very young. Around the age of 8, I started programming myself and have expanded and catalog so much knowledge, and I thought that the bootcamp would be a good way to get even more knowledge and feel career ready going out into the real world. So my project was the tabletop RPG character sheet creator. If you don't know what tabletop RPG is, a very familiar name that a lot of people think of is Dungeons and Dragons. This is a character sheet on the screen right now. My whole project was based around making this sheet. So I had 4 main goals. They were to create a sheet, edit a sheet, view the sheet, and to delete it. And in these goals, I was able to accomplish every single one. Throughout this process, the whole bootcamp process, not just the final project itself, I have been able to really understand the agile experience, the workflow and working in teams, working with other people, and it has really helped with me understanding not to go headfirst into code and to really pace myself and understand that the process is as good, but the preparation is as good as process. So with this project, going forward, I'm going to expand the character sheet, make it have more fields, have more inputs and stuff. But yeah, that is it for me. My name is Skyler Kuretza. This was the tabletop RPG character sheet creator, and I hope to see you in my breakout rooms.
Hey everyone, surprise, somebody coming to you from the Zoom now. My name is Becky, and before Bootcamp, I was leading a team of speech data engineers for a speech tech company whose software is used in AAA video games. I decided to do the bootcamp because, for one, I love making all different kinds of things and learning how to make different things. And also because working as a data engineer, there were a lot of times that I wished I could just whip up a web app really quickly for data collection purposes. So I figured that this would be a good way to add some new tools to my tool belt. So the project that I've been working on is called Idea Network, and it is a platform for facilitating creative collaboration. So if you're anything like me, you probably have all kinds of like crazy, weird ideas, and maybe sometimes you have the skills to do those, but maybe sometimes you don't, and you need help from somebody else who does have the skills to make it happen. So the Idea Network is a place where you can post your crazy ideas and find other people to collaborate with. When you first come to the site, this is what you see. You can browse all the ideas all over the world because, as we know now, remote collaboration is pretty simple. But you can also tag your ideas with locations if you want to be able to find ideas that people in your local community are doing. So if you want to look at details for any of these ideas, then you can make an account. And when you log in, next slide, this is what you see. You see more details about that project, as well as a button that allows you to request to collaborate. When you click that button, that sends the request to the person who created that idea. And then they can either add you as a collaborator or reject you. You can also communicate with your collaborators through this app on the comments section. And finally, on the right here, you can see some of the location functionality. And you can click any of these places and see the ideas that are listed there. When I built in the location functionality, I wanted to give users the option to share their location data themselves. So I don't collect that data automatically. I wanted users to have control of that. And this means that I had to use an external API, which holds all kinds of geographical postal code information. So the users give their postcode and their country, and then it unifies all the location data for all the different users. So that's all. My project has been called Idea Network. And if you want to learn more about it, please come to my breakout room. Thank you.
My name is Joe Passafiume, and before I went to the boot camp here, I was doing sales. Background in sales mostly. This year I decided that I wanted to do a career change. So if nothing else from this presentation, I hope that you will agree that I've made the correct choice in changing careers. So my app that I've designed is called Quoter. The question that I was trying to, the problem that I was trying to solve is, as you can see here, the number one problem that I've researched in 2020 is that people are having a lot of trouble finding a place to get funny and inspiring quotes. So with the Quoter, you'll be able to go to one easy to reach spot, hit one button on your phone, and you'll be able to go and see funny and inspiring quotes. You can go to the next clip. So you can do celebrity quotes, whatever you like. You don't have to log in to see the quotes. You can go in there. You can kind of see the format here. It's a timeline where you can either select newest quotes, oldest quotes, see the ones that have the most likes. If you do log in, you can create your own profile. It's going to keep stats, give you a rating and ranking based off how many quotes you've posted. And one of the things, the question I get a lot is, why do I need Quoter when I can just get on Google and look up famous quotes? Well, first of all, this is a lot faster. It's a lot easier. Plus, and this is important, Quoter is not going to be selling your data to third-party users, at least until I can figure out how to do it. You can go to the next slide. So you can see, this is the way you enter a quote. You can add a author to it. You can add tags to it. And some of the future functionality that's going to come to it is a more robust search engine, so that you can sort through the quotes by author or by tags. And so that'll be coming in the near future. If you want to check it out and see it live and working, you can come check out my breakout room. I do have a special for demo day, so you'll be able to download Quoter and use get a free subscription again until I can figure out how to get credit card data into it. So I appreciate everybody's attention, and I hope to see you in the breakout room. Thanks.
Hi, everybody. I'm Duncan Scruggs. And before boot camp, I was a property manager, and I was just not really, was looking for more of a challenge in my life. So I decided to come, I always liked computers, so I decided to come and do the Awesome Inc. boot camp. And now I am a professional full stack developer. Now, my project is a game tracker. Or a game progress tracker. And what inspired me to make this project is that I play a lot of games, but sometimes I don't quite remember what I've done, what tasks that I've completed in the game. You know, sometimes you're playing Mario 64. You don't remember if you got the star from the monkey that steals your hat or not on that playthrough. So with my app, you can check off marks to make sure that you have completed those tasks. So this is what it would look like. You would pick a game, and then it would show the tasks by location that you would complete them in. And you can make multiple characters to have multiple playthroughs, because I know I like playing through a game more than once. Got to get my money's worth. So that's what inspired me to do this. Now, what I like to add on to this, maybe a function for a speedrunner, where they could time their progress throughout the game and see a leaderboard of how quickly they completed the game against other people completing the game. I learned a lot in this process about really building a full stack project. You know, learned a lot about the workflow that I needed to go through instead of just jumping head on into the code and getting lost in it, trying to figure out, breaking things. Now I've learned to really plan out what I want to do. And that was one of the most helpful tasks helpful tasks that I learned in this boot camp. So I am Duncan Scruggs. My project was the Game Progress Tracker. You can find my contact information here on the screen, and you can join my breakout room and I can answer more questions for you.
Hi there, everybody. My name is Chandler Ward, and my project is the Caption This. Caption This is a site where users can view images that other users have captioned and rate their own captions. As a user, one of the main features is after registering and logging in, that you can create your own captions of one of the images on the screen, and then others can rate your image. One of the inspirations for this project was the caption contest that you see a lot of newspapers do, where they send out an image and they tell their readers to send in the best caption, and the best caption gets published. I wanted to make a site that emulated that experience and really let people be a bit creative with how they can make different captions for different images. So for this project, I used Laravel and React to develop it. What I learned mainly when making this project was that, well, for one, it was a lot harder to make captions for myself than I thought it was. I wasn't that creative. But I also learned a lot about, standing on your own when making a project by yourself, staying up late at night, learning how to operate the office coffee machine at 3 a.m., and generally just getting a really good feel for how I wanted to be as a web developer. Before the boot camp, I actually did a lot of waitering around. I waited tables for 3 years. I interned at a nonprofit business, and I even tutored in inner city middle school and elementary school kids. So jumping into web development and the bootcamp experience was a really big change for me, and I'm happy to say that it was one of the most enjoyable things that I've ever done. If you are interested in my project and how it was made, or maybe my experience, please do join me in my breakout room. Again, my name is Chandler Ward, and my project was Caption This.
Hello, my name is Aaron Withers, and my project is called Poster. Before bootcamp,
I had been cooking for the past 6 years and was getting ready to open a restaurant. And when the pandemic hit, I decided that wasn't going to be a good idea. So I started thinking about what I would do next. I decided software development because it's embedded in every industry there is, and it gave me the most opportunity in whatever field I chose to go into. So my project was inspired by social media sites like Facebook and Twitter, where you can create an account and make posts. So that's pretty much what I did here. You can create an account, you log in, and then you can make posts and see all the other posts that other people made too. This was the first project I used front end, back end. So I learned how to connect the database to display on the site. And for the next sprint, I think I would add the ability to view other people's profiles and also comment on posts. So that was my project. I'm Aaron Withers. You can email me or find me on GitHub or LinkedIn, or join me in my breakout room. Thanks.
All right, great job, everybody. So those are our 12 student presenters today. Here's one more reminder of their names and the projects they've been working on. But yeah, very, very excited. Everyone did a great job. Wherever you are, if you can give them a big round of applause. We really appreciate the hard work that they've put in getting to today. So up next, that is the end of our presentation section of today's demo day. We are about to head into our breakout room section. Before we do that, though, I want to share a couple announcements here. So first, these students are here to make a career transition. So if you are here and representing an employer or have a contact somewhere of someone looking to add to their tech team, these folks are ready to join and to take those skills they've demonstrated today and help your organization out. So please connect with them. We've got their contact info on these slides. You'll also be receiving a follow-up email that has links to all their LinkedIn profiles and codes, so you can check that out further. Second, we are going to be hopping into breakout rooms. And if this is your first time, can we go back one slide real quick? Yeah, if this is your first time in a breakout room in Zoom, the way this is going to work is there's going to be a little box that appears along the bottom of your screen. And you're going to have an opportunity to join one of 12 different rooms. So our 12 students will be each in a breakout room. You'll kind of leave this main session and go off to one of those rooms. From there, you'll be able to leave that room and switch so you can check out each of our students' presentations and have a chance to talk with them some more. If you have any questions in this process, we know not everyone has experienced Zoom or breakout rooms before. Our Awesome Inc. team will be here in this main room, and we can help guide you to where you need to be, either through audio and video here or through the chat. So let us know how we can help you navigate that setup. Also want to give a shout out to any students who are considering the bootcamp. So our next bootcamp program runs February through May of 2021. Applications are open actually through tomorrow is our application deadline. We've been doing interviews for the past several weeks. And so if that's you and you've interviewed, thanks for joining us. If you're considering this or you know someone who'd like to take this same career transition path, let them know to check out awesomeinc.org/bootcamp, where they can find more information about the program and have a chance to apply. So that is it for our presentation side here. Again, we hope you'll stick around and check out the breakout rooms and talk with our students. We're going to have a follow-up message coming out to you. So we appreciate so much you taking your time to join us today. You go back on the last one, Kyle, sorry. We've got an updated lunch sponsor for us. So we wish we could be all together in person. That's just not how things work here in 2020. But we've partnered with a local restaurant, Deviate Kitchen, and we're going to be providing a meal for you. So we'll send a follow-up email with details on how to do that. We'll also have some links for you to connect with our students, as well as a recording for today's demo day. So Stephen, if you could open up those breakout rooms now, we are ready to move into the breakout room section. And our Awesome Inc. team will be sticking around here. So if you have any questions, let us know. But thanks again, everyone, for joining us. Have a great day.
How do I use a breakout room?